background audio camera. Wait. Let me see if you. How to do a YouTube fundraiser through StreamYards. Okay. How to live stream on YouTube using StreamYard. Complete StreamYard tutorial. How to set up a fundraiser, YouTube giving. Okay.
Hi, I'm Shireen. In this video, I'll show you how to set up a YouTube giving fundraiser, and I'll share a few best practices. YouTube giving empowers you to use your voice to support the causes you care about. Whether you're raising money with a donate button or with live chat donations, we've made it easy for creators to fundraise for eligible U.S. nonprofits. On top of that, YouTube covers all transaction fees. So 100% of the money you raise goes to the eligible nonprofit. When you set up a fundraiser, your fans will be able to donate to your cause with the donate button that will appear next to your video or live stream. Second, if you add your fundraiser to a live stream with chat enabled, your viewers will also be able to donate through the chat. Here are a few quick tips that can help you amplify your reach and impact. First, create the connection. Share with your fans why the cause is important to you and why they should donate. Whether it's that you add to the beginning of your videos or a live stream dedicated to the fundraiser. Your reach by collaborating with other creators through a community fundraiser. Third, spread the word and ask your fans to donate. By sharing your cause across social media, you can reach all your fans and spread awareness. Now let's dive into how to set up a YouTube giving fundraiser.
It's simple.
You'll have the option to create a fundraiser or to join another creator's community fundraiser.
Yes.
Start by logging into your account at studio.youtube.com. On the monetization tab, and then giving at the top of the page. Click Get Started to create or join a fundraiser. When you choose to join a fundraiser, you'll see a list of community.
If I could do it through monetization, hold on. Let me say, hold on. Live streaming, monetization, your channel, YouTube. All right, hold on. Monetization. Boom. Hold on, I look.
This went perfectly. It's been 52 minutes, and so far I've accomplished listening to Molly Go Lightly talk about how teach us a seminar on how you can do a fundraiser, step by step, how to do a fundraiser on YouTube. Of course, ethically, because that's her raison d'etre. It's what they call ironic is what they do, what they call that, you see. But what makes it so is that she does not see it. She does not. See, this is her head, and it goes. See, let me see. I think it's 60 minutes long, where she talks about how she's telling everybody how a detailed seminar about how to, if they would like to, how to do this fundraiser, but if they would like to do this fundraiser, they need to do it this way. And also, someone asked in the middle of it, well, hey, what about that Heels on the Ground thing? Isn't that a fundraiser? And she's like, well, kind of, but someone already has that name, so no. What? What? Like, what? Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of that's the point. Like, yeah. That can we hear more about that? Yes. That's the only thing I want to know. Totally that's a troll, and can somebody find out when exactly she knew that? I don't know. Killed me. Totally screwed up my whole idea for my stream and like what I was doing with my with my mind. Oh, okay, anyway, so anyway, yeah. It don't matter. I'm just screwing around. I'm going to delete this whole first part because I'm going to edit what I'm doing is I'm going to take this live stream and I'm going to cut out the first part and I'm going to make a good, like, I'm going to start strong when I do start, and I'm going to make a good video. I'm just going to cut out the first part where I screwed up. So that's what I'm going to do. I decided. Okay? All right. My camera's going to work any second.
You guys know what I'm going to talk about.
Not only can they take his job, but
I'm very tired.
they can scream at them.
You know, I stayed up all night.
Ha
I did
ha.
not sleep.
Your baby's
House
dead.
is clean.
They can follow them around and scream, ha ha, your baby's dead. Your baby's gone. They can get them both fired from their job, which they both still are, by the way. They wanted to say it was just one builder. No, they're both still fired from Tucker. Tucker let them both go. So, yeah, it's a big deal. And they had to surrender a lot of the animals. They don't have a lot of the animals that they had. So, but that's okay. That's completely justified because they said so.
Adrian's bringing me some tamales. So
that was like a week that they were there harassing these people, by the way. And they plan on going back too.
Okay. Now, this is not because of my findings. This has to do with when I was in Rogersville, when a flare gun was thrown at us. It immediately sent off a signal, and all you see like a minute after is this bat out of hell car pull up, and it's this man named Don who lived up Ben Hill Road, okay? And he lives up there, and he was not too happy, never seen him before, never heard of him. And all of a sudden, he's like, y'all need to get out here. I'm prior law enforcement and all this. And I'm like, okay. Luckily, Jonathan was very, nice to him, introduced himself. Well, it turns out that there was some breaking news about this man, Don, and his son. A lot of you, then he got nice. Yeah, once Jonathan, reached out that hand, which happens often. I know, I'm probably going to say, I'm just very, very tired. It's already getting dark. So you remember that. Okay, so we can go back to that video on my channel. I think so. Okay, so how about, all right. How about we go to my channel? I think it's, hold on. We're showing my video. Flare videos. All right. It's important that we show this. And it's kind of important that we talk about this as well. All right, here it goes. A 7-minute video.
Where's Summer Will? Where's Summer Will, Don? Don Will. Where's Summer? We're here. Come down. Help us find Summer.
You want to help find your daughter? All we want to do is find this and end this, please.
Hey, Don Will, come down.
We have no
You
food.
hear us, Don Will. We're here. We're doing the child abuse. Why aren't you out there looking for Summer?
All we want to do is find your baby.
You're looking for Summer. Justice for Summer Wills. Don Wills, I saw you outside. I knew you hear me.
Can you come outside? We have some
Come
dog
out.
food for you.
Come out. Why do you look up there? Why do you abuse children, Don Wills? Huh? We're here.
Can you come down and face us? 5
Shame
minutes.
on you, Will. Shame on you, Don Will. Shame on you, Ken. Where's Summer? What did you do with Summer? What did you do with Summer, Don? Don Wills, what did you do with Summer? Where is Summer Will?
Summer's life matters.
Summer Will.
We only care about the whereabouts of your child.
Again.
We've asked you to help us many times.
This is
You
not
keep
the right
rejecting
way.
us. Silence is also an answer.
You told me you couldn't come to church today because your back was out. How in the world are you able to be with when you can't even go to church? Why? We got dog food in here for your dog. We got snacks down here for your dogs.
Why are you shooting at us?
Transformative pause.
We want to know where you put Summer Wills. You need to ask Candace. Where?
They're very proud of themselves right now. By the way, sorry, there's something in my throat. They're very proud of themselves right now. And at this point in time, and she's very proud of herself right now as she's showing this video, that she's very proud of herself that she had this video of this man's father. And she's like, oh, yeah, you know what? This is one of my videos while we were down there. Zero self-awareness. Total lack of self-awareness that she had been on these people's property, and the fact that she may have harassed and got fired innocent people, and also people that may have had a daughter abducted or murdered or missing or something to that nature, may have done a crime or may also be victims, but keyword is may. Zero self-awareness. Continue.
Did she put Summer Wells? What did you do with her? We know you weren't at work all day.
Lean on you.
There he is. Okay.
I don't give a shit who you are. You all have got to leave. You have tore my grandmother-in-law all to pieces. You have chest pains. This bullshit's done. We know what's going on.
This is
I have
him.
no doubt in my mind that they're involved in it. But we're tired of it. But the law do their thing.
All right.
Makes law.
He just pointed up at Don and Candace's home with Candace and Don outside, right? That just threw a flare gun. He just said right out of his mouth, listen to what he said.
You have chest pains. This bullshit's done. We know what's going on. I have no doubt in my mind that they're involved in it.
I have no doubt in my mind that they are involved in it.
Neither did you. Molly, neither did you. My God. This lady wouldn't know it. Irony was if it fell down and hit her in the fucking head.
Okay?
But we're tired of it. But the law do their thing. I make law enforcement. I know the guys that's working the case. They will do their job.
By the way, she's doing a stream right now on how to do a fundraiser while she's collecting money for Heels on the Ground that she is that she's collecting money for that already exists as a separate entity that she has no part of in actual reality.
That's all I have. They come up over here.
Good
You've
Lord.
been over at the cemetery where my family's buried at. We're tired of it.
All right. Listen, Mr. Don. A cemetery is public. We had every right to visit.
Why didn't you say that at the time? Why are you talking to the screen?
We visited a cemetery. No one was disrespectful at all.
He can't hear you, Molly. He can't hear you. That's a screen in front of you.
Get your vehicles and leave. If not, I will follow up.
He had no right to chase us off.
Okay, Molly. He can't hear you.
Number one.
Okay.
So his mother was the one that was yelling all crazy and shit.
All right.
Because we're putting more cameras up, so if anybody looks through there, we'll be prosecuted by the
Yeah, okay. Listen, Don, ex-lawyer.
Listen, Molly. He can't hear you. That's a screen. Okay? You can't get tough now that you're in another state and you're talking to a screen and he can't hear you. It doesn't work like that. Everybody knows that he can't hear you. Okay? Transformative pause. Go ahead.
Law enforcement, Don, let me tell you something.
He can't hear you. God dang it. He can't
If the
hear you.
police aren't coming to 110 Ben Hill Road, Mr. Don,
Uh-huh.
for the other Mr. Don,
Uh-huh.
when it's been reported
By you?
that there was a very...
Hang on. Who was it reported by? Molly? Who reported it? Go ahead.
You know, a very strange call
Who?
was revealed on social media. This man's claiming that as a felon and on probation, that he's not allowed to have any sort of guns.
He's
talking
not.
about guns under his bed, and he's waiting for someone to come up there and fire.
Sounds.
Okay?
Oh
The
my.
cops aren't going there.
Oh my goodness, Molly, that sounds so serious and dramatic. I hope the cops took that seriously. Like, super duper seriously. Tell me more.
There and responding to
Mm-hmm.
people being concerned
Mm-hmm.
about what he says,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't think that you're calling the law.
Wait a second. Wait 1 second. You mean to tell me that they didn't go? Are you telling me, Molly, are you telling me, that people from YouTube called the police and told them things and they didn't get a warrant and go arrest Don Wells? Is that what you're telling me right now? Must not be the police. I believe you. Go ahead.
And
I'm with you.
I mean, you gave me a little hope at first with the whole, I have no idea,
Heck yeah.
no doubt that they're involved. Why? Why do you have no doubt?
Yeah,
Why do you have no doubt?
that's right.
I wish I would have thought to ask you, why do you have no doubt?
Me too.
But you were very dismissive of
Ask the
us.
screen, Molly.
And this is not your property.
Heck yeah.
Fine, it's your little neighborhood,
Tell
but
the
it's not your
screen.
property, dude.
That's right. You tell the screen, Molly. Tell the screen.
Oh, you respect us.
Mm-hmm.
You respect what we're doing. You just contradicted yourself.
That's right.
6.5. I know Ronnie Lawson, he's got leads. Leslie Earhart, PBI.
Ronnie Lawson's got leads.
My gosh.
He's not releasing that. So please, go on, let him do their job. It's turn into another animal. I ask him to leave. Very nice.
Okay, well, we're bringing some dog food, so we'll leave right there.
Now that's it.
Transformative pause. Do you guys believe that when the YouTubers called the police, they didn't go? I think Molly's right. I think that wasn't even the police. I think that's a fake number.
But she said she drove like a bat out of hell to get out of here on this thing.
I'm Donald Church.
I'm Andrew.
That makes-
Thank you.
No. But I was going to do is create more problems. It's a shot. Oh, hey. And he ain't afraid to shoot people. We've got shootings up in here. That's why I'm on. Because I don't let him down here. He comes up for shooting, I'll get back. And if people live right up here for shooting, I'll get back. So these two don't get along.
Oh.
They say that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't blamed them yet.
Well, he has.
Oh, yes.
He's blamed everybody.
Is that Andy up there? Andy or?
Yeah.
Is the woman?
Oh, she's gone. He run her off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, these guys here, have you ever, like,
I don't know if she explained yet.
She do is harass everybody.
Did she explain why this guy's so creepy?
I ended up drawing my gun on her.
She needs someone in her life. Hang on a second. Hi, Bless Bumblebee.
But now,
How are you?
he has blamed
She needs someone in her
Fred.
life
Yeah.
Yes.
to put her
Fred,
straight.
Fred,
Yeah,
Fred,
she
Fred,
does.
my name, yeah.
And it ain't going to be her husband
Yeah,
because
he
he needs a booster
he's
seat.
the one I was talking to when he dropped his name.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll go on our
Oh,
way.
God.
Yeah, you
all right, I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you coming.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the father,
Do you want to come up and hang out? I put the link up there.
right?
There's the
What's
link
the
right
son's
there.
name
If you want to
again?
come hang out.
Is
Les
it Don's
Bumblebee.
Don something what? I guess Junior. So his son,
Yeah, he is a super creep. Yeah. Like, I agree
the
with her
way I
there.
understand it,
But the problem is, Molly,
all right,
you've painted yourself
Don
into a corner.
Sharfy, yes. All right.
Okay?
Don,
Molly, here's the problem.
I look
Here's the problem, Molly, okay? Yeah, he is a creep. Okay? Agreed. Here's the problem. You have already painted yourself into a corner. All right? Now, you don't get to say, oh, we have another suspect. You don't get to say that now because you have already said, I've solved the crime. You've already been the judge, the jury, and the executioner in this case. The only thing you said is left to do is to stand there and protest the TBI because they're not doing their job by not hanging the man. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Like, she doesn't get to go back now and say, oh, hey, guess what, guys? Another suspect. I got a new theory. It's okay. Yeah, like, she might have ate the husband. I'm not sure yet. But
down a few notches and consider.
okay, here it comes. You ready, guys? Here's the big apology. You ready? Dawn, listening? Candace, you ready? Here it comes.
Court in April.
Drum roll.
Can you imagine if Stuz? Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Can you imagine? Well, that's the thing. If that were the case, still, why would the Wells act the way that they are? Oh, you exactly. Hell yeah, the devil's got a strong hold on that county, and they're over there with their ukuleles. Hallelujah! Yeah, hallelujah.
Wait a second. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Let me get this straight. Okay. Get this straight. All right. Let me get this straight. Molly's ego is so big. Her pride is so big, okay, that even if a complete whole nother entity is responsible for Summer's disappearance, okay? Even if Dawn and Candace had nothing to do with Summer's disappearance, still, Molly is not willing to take responsibility and say that she was wrong for doing anything. The most that she would say, if a complete different entity was responsible for Summer being gone. Okay? And then for all Molly's actions so far, the most Molly would say to that is that the devil's got a strong hold in that county because, you ready? Because Robin sings hallelujah on a ukulele. Well, goddamn. What? That, something about that song, I'll tell you what, something about that song, Hallelujah, that woman, Robin, and Molly's ego clashes. She would never admit it, but it's obvious that Molly is very jealous of Robin and her wholesomeness, her voice, and the way she sings that song. Very obvious. The jealousy seething out of her. Stop it, Molly. It's so obvious. It's not a good look for you at all. Stop it. Okay? Just trying to help you. Okay? Trying to help. Where'd my screen go?
No. Don has a son. And he's a creeper too.
Yeah, he is.
Why is he no longer a cop? He said law enforcement. He could have been. I think you could be in law enforcement. Yeah, I need a banjo. I don't want a banjo. She makes me sick. You don't know how sick you make me. You make me sick to my stomach. Every time I think of you, I puke. And then he's got a gun. We got all gun. Yeah. I mean, this guy is coming out there like a big shot. We're on your property, dude. We're not. Oh, reserve for military. My husband's a veteran. Is he in law enforcement? Hell no. Does he act like he's in law enforcement? Hell no. Was he the unknown neighbor with foot on property? Well, here's the question. Has Don... All right. Okay. Don's not talking to Don. The well talking to this Don hate each other. Why wasn't Don Knotts, Don Wells over here, pointing at their son? Why is he the only person that Don hasn't pointed at? Why is he pointing at Don and everybody else?
Right. Okay, that is a good question.
Possibly. Possible.
Yeah. Here's the exact moment that pissed me off.
Yes, I know. Supposedly, Jody Sue that night. Helping
like,
to
well,
search. Yeah.
not gonna lie. Could be.
But it is a good point. And I'm sitting upstairs, and as soon as Justin called me, he goes, I gotta talk to you. And he goes, and I said, I knew what he was gonna talk about. I said, yeah. I go, it's an unsettling feeling. You think there's 5 sons? It's ironic. I mean, if Don Wells is saying this, he never says this kid. I don't know. He called Cam last night while they were live. Cam did not play the call, but said Don had no idea. Oh! Really? Well, this is the thing. It doesn't look like Am and Callie are going to be invited to the chalet of 110 Benton Hill Drive. Especially if they are doing their due diligence, and obviously, the
transformative
area
commentary.
know of this guy, right? Oh, the cops are Ronnie Lawson's got some leads. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Well, he's not going to say, also, my son's a pedophile. I mean, what did you expect him to? What did you expect?
So, is the guy?
Ask him. You do any actual investigating, or did you stand at the bottom of the Wells home and scream?
And if you tell me that TBI didn't talk to this dude, I'm gonna fall on the floor. Probably break my head.
Like, that's another thing.
And Kim said he didn't know how the guy was not checked. Stop it.
You stop it.
No. No.
Okay.
No. This doesn't make sense.
Right. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense because you knew you could have got a list of all the neighbors that lived on that road, especially the ones that lived within 4 or 5 houses from the Wells. Would have been easy to look up the backgrounds of the immediate neighbors of the Wells while you were there for 2 weeks, right, Molly? Wouldn't it have been while you had 2 weeks down there? Why are you asking these questions now? You had 2 weeks. What did you do? You stood at the bottom of the Wells property and screamed at them. What right do you have now to stand there and sit there and yell indignantly at your computer when you were there for 2 weeks? How do you not know who the Wells' immediate neighbors were? How do you not know that? How do you not know that? Okay? I want to know how you don't know that. And I want to know how you don't know where they were. I want to ask you that. Who else would know that? Why didn't you knock on their fucking doors? Why didn't you do that? How easy would that have been? Holy shit, what else could you have done besides at least knocked on their doors? God damn it.
Makes sense.
It doesn't.
Yes. Was not. So he answered my question. He was down.
Oh my God.
They didn't go to Don's house last night. Well, the night before when we called, right? They ignored, they hung up. Okay. Oh, it's those crazy people on YouTube. Yeah, I get that. But if Doug is freaking out over this disturbing phone call of him talking about firearms underneath his bed and he's waiting for people to come up there, that's not okay. If you get a call like that, you're supposed. She said, "Did you guys hear the damn I'm going to tell you about."
Because you've acted like crazy people. And now that's how they're treating you. You blew it. You blew it. Because when you first went down there, they did respect you. They did at first. But you guys blew it. That sucks. You guys could have did something really good. When you first went down there, they gave you records. They gave you police calls. They gave you land records, dispatch records. That sucks. And now you're a joke. And now you're a joke down there. Because you have to be so goddamn dramatic. Because you can't respect any boundaries whatsoever. Because you can't not touch chemicals. Because you can't not get the police called on you.
Now, you are right. The rabbit holes go deep and are exhausting. And it's frustrating. And I don't understand how they cannot find a girl. If this guy was never talked to, what? They definitely should have sent the police out there that night. Well, I'm thankful that no one was hurt that we know of, thank God. And no, I do not regret, and nor am I sorry for calling. Hell no. Let me tell you something, Cam and Allie. Whatever you know, whatever you signed, don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about this bullshit. I'm sure that whatever this their confidentiality thing, void. But just say, oh, I don't know. What were your allergies were? You on Sudafed? You took an allergy medication when I signed it. Oh crap! I don't even remember reading it. I can't remember. Therefore, if you saw anything in that house, Cameron Allen, please come clean and tell the authorities. Don't tell YouTube. Now I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you did tell the authorities first and nothing happened. You got frustrated and you were like, all right, now you pissed me off. So now I'm gonna tell everybody on YouTube. Right? I'm telling you, we're on to something. This guy, that's pretty serious. Now,
Okay. All right, that's enough. Hang on a second. Am I muted? Okay, I'm not muted. Okay. All right, so that's That's what I'm okay, so now has she decided that now this guy's done it? Which I think this guy should pretty much get the death penalty anyway. I mean, that's it. You don't get a second chance in my book. Not that because he's guilty of Summer's disappearance, just because of what they already have found that he's already 100% been guilty of. I just think the punishment should be death again. We should bring back the death penalty for that crime, period. That's just my personal view. I think our children are a precious commodity, and I think the death penalty is appropriate for that kind of thing. And that's just my personal opinion. So, back to Summer. I think anybody who hurts a child is evil, and I think that that is the worst. Children are the most innocent among us. Children and animals. They're helpless. They need us to protect them, and it is our responsibility to protect them. So, because of that, when someone sets out to harm them and that is their only motive, I believe that they are especially evil. And, like, I mean a special kind of evil. Like, there is no cure but Jesus. And if they don't find Jesus, then they need to be destroyed. That is my personal opinion. And let me see. I can't hear myself, so I don't know if I'm either muted or I need to fix my let's see what's going on here. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, hang on a second. I don't know what happened when I mute myself here. What did I do? Do-do-do-do. What did I do? Sorry, guys. Hang on 1 second while I figure out what I did with what I did to my microphone. Audio. Can testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. I just moved it around. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now okay. That's under control. All right. Okay. And now what I wanted to talk about. What I was watching this week, a couple videos that I was analyzing about the early days of Summer's disappearance. And it was interviews with CANDUS and comparing her interviews when Summer first disappeared and what she said specifically at the water hole to what she said. Chris McDonough was interviewing her. I was talking that whole time and I wasn't. Oh man, I have got to get better at this. I wasn't even, you guys couldn't even hear me. I'm so sorry. So I was saying that he specializes in child murderers, child abductions, and for 13 of those 25 years, he was investigating child murders. And when he retires, he doesn't leave the field. He just leaves his tethering. He buys a Windstream, and him and his wife decide to go where they're needed, where there's a need in the country, and it's suggested to him to get a YouTube channel that he can help in that way. So he does. He calls it the interview room. And one of the first cases he decides to go to is Summer Wells' case. So he goes to Summer Wells' case and he interviews the mother, Candace, the boy who's there, Hunter, and he tries to interview Dawn. But when he does, Dawn, he thinks is hiding. Dawn says he's not, but Dawn later calls. He records that and plays it on air. And those 3 interviews are very interesting now, 7 months later. So a few days ago, he played the interview of Candace Wells at the water hole where Candace and Summer were swimming earlier that day that Summer went missing. When he interviewed Candace, she let him interview her at the water hole. And then he had gained her trust at the water hole. By the end of that interview, he said, I'd really like to see the house. And she goes, yeah, well, he said, I'd like to see the property where she was last seen. And she goes, yeah, well, I guess that'd be okay. So he was allowed to drive to her house. And then after that, he was allowed to walk around the property and take pictures around the property. And then after that, he was like, well, is it okay if I come inside the house? He's one of the only people, as far as I know, if not the only person who was able to get a video camera inside that house the way that it was when Summer disappeared. It's like crucial. And get footage of the house the way that it looked when Summer disappeared. So he gets video footage of the inside of the house and down inside the basement and back and through the back door where, as Candace says, that's where Summer was abducted. So it's as invaluable when it comes to understanding what happened the day that Summer went missing. So when you listen to Candace's story and try to understand what happened that day, you have to take that video into context with it. But you have to take both videos because they're 2 separate videos, because one's at the watering hole and one's at the house. But she's telling the same story, but she's telling it 2 separate times. And I haven't heard anybody do this, so I'm going to do it. I want to overlap the 2. Because when I heard when I heard them, she contradicted a few things. The things that she did contradict were very interesting to me. So yeah. Okay. Do. So I'm gonna bring those up. And let's see what else. So yeah, the reason it's also so interesting that you also, along with those videos, you get, and I know a lot of people drag Chris McDonough, and I'm not sure why. Maybe there's a little jealousy there in the true crime community, but he has made a few mistakes, but I mean, that's, I guess, just part of being human or being new to something like a platform, a social media platform. But as far as true crime, the man has 25 years of law enforcement behavior analysis, investigating homicides, investigating child abductions, investigating specific kinds of crime. I mean, the man has a going down to Quantico, training other behavior units. Like, the man is a smart man with a specific skill set, and he has a huge heart. So he's a hero to me. So I would never drag. I don't understand why some people do, or put him in categories with other people. Like, I don't know why you would ever put him in a category with someone like a Molly Golightly or somebody like that. I would never. And if he has ever been naive and even put himself in a podcast with someone without knowing, just because you don't know the character of another person, I don't think that impugns your own character either, you know? But this man, his reputation's impeccable. So, like I said, the video we're gonna see, the interview with Candace Wells, I'm gonna play not just the interview he does with her, but I'm going to play the interview he does with her, the one where he's looking back on it 7 months later and giving you his insights 7 months later as a homicide investigator, and what he sees now and what he saw then, and the knowledge that you see by understanding what's going through his brain is just like, it's like, it's so incredible. I don't know how to describe it. His words it's incredible. It was for me anyway. I'm like, wow, that's really, like, some things I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. And then some things I wish I was sitting next to him, because I want to say, wow, what did you think of this? Or I want to say, wow, that's exactly what I was thinking. And then I want to add on that, but I so since I can't add on it because I'm not sitting next to him, I I just wrote it all down. I'm like, well, I'll do a video and I'll tell you about it, and then I'll see what you think, because I know you'll write it in the comments, right? I know you will. I know you will. Don't let me down. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see. So, first one we're gonna pull up here. And by the way, while I'm pulling these up, guys, don't forget that Summer's birthday is coming up here on the 4th. And don't forget that it's just some important dates. So on the 4th is Summer's birthday, and on the 7th is going to be Dawn's court hearing for that DUI he got when he was drinking and driving on one of his other YouTube escapades. I think these are going to be really important days. The thing is, she's still doing that fundraiser. Look at that. That's incredible. I have no idea what that's about. If anybody knows what that's about, can you guys tell me what? I wrote down the name of the person she said who that was for. I really am curious if she's actually making any money, but she said the name of the person, And she said the person had a son that was a dead son. But then she kind of implied that she didn't believe the person also. So the name of the person was Ann Weller. Do you guys know who that is? Ann Weller? Because she said she had the person blocked. So why would you do a fundraiser for someone if you had them blocked? Because that wouldn't that mean like you didn't believe them? Nice and smooth. And there should be no inconsistencies. So when you hear an inconsistency, your alarms should start to ring because you want to ask yourself, why? Why is this different? Okay. And there is going to be times when it's different. So you have to ask yourself, why don't they match? Why don't the stories match? And that's what we're going to try to figure out. Okay.
Okay with that? Grandma?
Even the mom, okay? Because when he goes to interview Hunter at the table,
it may help answer some of your questions.
here at the table is the boy that was with Candace is Hunter. The people at the table with Hunter is Hunter's mom and Hunter's grandmom. So when Candace goes to pick up Hunter, his mother and his grandmother are at the house. So they are also witnesses to this day. And you're going to hear what they have to say about, did they see Summer? What did she look like when they saw her?
Questions. It may make it a little more, suspicious. I'm hoping it doesn't.
Right.
I'm hoping that, we can connect some of the dots as we go here and, have a good conversation this evening about it because there's a lot more coming that I have held, but the timing is not correct. But this evening, the timing is correct. So with that, without any further ado, let's get into this, as they say. This interview was conducted in, quite frankly, in 100% understanding of who's doing what and why. So there was no hidden agenda here, and everybody. What's your name, your cat?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. All right, I was just testing you. You already told me that. Yeah. As you can hear there right from the get-go, I had already had a conversation with Hunter. Okay? It was a brief conversation. This is where we worked out the details in relationship to me not wanting to expose him potentially to any, criticism, ridicule, or anything like that because, of his age. And Mom and the rest of the family, or at least, his grandmother, had all agreed that that was a good idea. But ultimately, later on, just before I was going to interview him, he and his mom had, somewhat of a little conversation together about him wanting to put it out there. So, being an investigator, you're not going to, want to stop anything that you feel could be valuable or they feel could be valuable. So I let them work it out. And that's where Mom and he had come to the, some agreements that would happen. So you hear me say off camera, because we were setting up before this, and I asked them if everybody was comfortable, if everything was okay. And of course, you'll hear even in this, when I get to the second half, when I actually sit down with him, the first person the first three people are these three individuals sitting at the table. So everybody was aware 1,000% of what was taking place. And if you listen to what I just said, I said, I was just testing you. I already asked you that. So what I was saying there off camera, okay, is we'd already had a conversation, and then Karen turns the camera on. So it was kind of chit chat, just short conversation. If you look at mom, how she looks over at Hunter off camera.
You passed. All right, so we're going to record it. You okay with that? You okay with that? Grandma? Mm-hmm. Okay. Great grandma. Hopefully
one other thing as we get going here, none of us sometimes can, understand why certain people, look a certain way or do a certain thing. I mean, so let's be really considerate to, our folks here. And, just because they look different than you or I think we can all agree, at least in this conversation tonight, we can be kind. So if I could ask you that would be wonderful from my perspective. And I know certainly we don't want to, be mean or critical of others.
audio, is it turned on, the audio?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, I kind of want to start from what you remember about that day. And I'll start first over here, Allison, because you, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay?
Okay, one of the first things you're going to notice is, I've just been trained, for perception, right? Remember, law enforcement are trained observers. That's what they do, right? And they see things. Cops see things, and investigators, firefighters, nurses, doctors, anybody, around. And quite frankly, even people, the clerks at Walmart, recognize certain things, what we call DLR, right? Does not lie. And well, the first DLR sign and signature that I had, and that's what I called them, right from the get-go, was Grandis pointing to Allie. And let me show you how subtle that was real fast. I'm going to go back for just a second. Okay, watch Grandis.
Over here, Allison, because.
Did you see that? Okay. For me, right from the get-go, okay, that was a huge red flag. Okay. Whenever you see that happening, it's almost like, somebody has brought, somebody with grandma sitting there. It's almost like somebody has brought in, a friend of theirs to a conversation where you're as deep as this is, i.e. a missing child. And what we used to call that is sod, some other dude. Okay. You would get folks who you're looking at, you want to interview them at length, in depth, and they show up at the PD. Okay. They show up at the PD with a friend. Okay. And you may have them in the interview, going down a certain path, getting to a certain place. And out of the blue, they'll say, well, if you don't believe me, ask, Hank in the lobby. He'll tell you where I was, how I got there, etc. Okay. Now, I mentioned that tonight because I think, and we'll get into it later on, we're seeing some of that behavior
Oh, hey. Dee's wife? You there? Can you hear me? Hey, Dee's wife. You there? Hi. Hello? Hi. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Dee's wife. Dee's wife. Hello? Hey, can you hear me? You're on the screen, sweetie.
Oh, sorry. Shit.
Oh, that's okay. Did you not want to be? Did you want to be?
I'm getting rid of it.
Oh, it's okay. You can be if you want to be. Did you want to be? That's okay. Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you doing, sweetie? Oh, you didn't gotta go. All right. Have a good day. I guess it was an accident. I don't know. It's okay. Okay, so we'll go back to the we'll go back to the thing. Okay.
For individuals that have not produced themselves to
Yeah.
say it to themselves, to say it about themselves. And we saw a gap in between the last interview with CANDUS. I saw a gap between the last interview with CANDUS and the phone call that Don made to me. And so, and that's, will be the next one that I'm going to break down with the house and the water hole with CANDUS, and not grandma with CANDUS. Okay, so that was the first red flag. I want to point that out up front because I want you to pay attention in relationship to how I'm constantly looking left, right, left, and I'm looking at I'm looking at how they position themselves, how they lean forward, how they do this, and some of those cues. Somebody sitting like this is obviously closed off. They don't want to talk. We're see all of this behavior start to display itself through this interview.
You, from my understanding, if I, okay, you and Ken have been friends for about a year and a half, maybe.
About a year and a half.
And this is right after you relocated here from New York. Okay.
No, it's been a few years after we've been here from New York for about 12.
What are you noticing there? Right? And I mentioned right up front, the first red flag is now the second red flag for me, and we're not even 5 minutes into this interview, okay, is a repositioning, okay, a turn, full turn, and grandma starts some of the narrative for Allison, okay, Allie. I'm going to call her Allie. Okay.
Allie's the mom.
Now that could be a couple of things, right? For me, I was, kind of thinking through this, and when it first happened was, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt right now because I'm not exactly sure where this conversation's going to go yet. Okay, and so just like every investigator should, and they do, hopefully, you don't want to, kind of go down, a certain theory, a certain hole, a rabbit hole. You just don't want to kick the leaves, discover that there's, a gigantic, snake underneath them. Okay. So you let the leaves move themselves as an analogy. And that's what I would do right up front here. Okay. And so you move through here.
Okay. In that time, help me understand what the dynamics of that relationship between you guys.
Sherry. My mother started the friendship. She had my kids and the kids and her mom down here at the Santa train.
And you have a good Irish name.
Thank you.
I'm McDonough, so that'll ring.
They had met CANDUS from Wisconsin.
Try to hurry this up a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'll speed up the.
Working when I was, working in California, we had a lot of volume, and it almost felt like right from the start of this situation that it's almost like you're dealing with a group of gangbangers who just don't want to tell you what time it is, right? So you have this right here is much more powerful than this. Okay, you can pound anybody all day long, and it's like blowing on a light bulb. Okay, but if you have that tool and you are kind, considerate, open, honest, objective, then you will be surprised that the type of crimes that you can solve. Remember, we used to have a saying: you don't get to choose your victim, and you don't get to choose who took them. Okay? So you deal with all types of demographics, you deal with all types of economic situations, but quite frankly, every one of these people on that porch could be involved and or could be a witness. Okay? You don't get to choose who your witnesses are when your victim is a prostitute, as an example.
Stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
From the groceries.
Okay.
Let's hear that.
You don't get
That's
to choose,
important.
who your witnesses are.
Sorry, this is an important part.
Okay?
Pay attention to that
It's
milk.
going to be meth heads. It's going to be other, people that are out on the street at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so you can't discount what they say until you have a little more time.
That milk's
and
important.
So I'm giving you a little more insight as to why I've held this for so long. Okay, and then we'll break that down a little bit further. But you just can't hear something and say, well, that's the way it is. It's never that way. Okay, it is never that way when you were trying to solve the disappearance of a 5-year-old little girl, specifically, which TBI and FBI at that point had already been back to this family a minimum of 3 separate times, and the FBI agent that they sent back was a female. Okay? So there's a lot of moving parts there in the investigators' minds as to what's the best strategy on handling this porch, as an example. Okay, and you can bet that the BA, the Behavior Science Unit, early on was involved in this because of the card team and some of the dynamics of some of these players. Okay?
Another thing
so
about
let's keep moving. And by the way,
listening to his interviews, that is probably the closest insight that any of us are going to get to the minds of the investigators that are actually working on this case, that are in the FBI, that we are going to get.
what a great chat
honest.
going on here. Absolutely love it. Thank you. You're being very respectful, at this point, because all of this, remember, impacts Summer at some point. All of it will. And so I love the fact that each of you are very considerate of her, and that we're all here for her tonight.
Where your truck is. Okay. But her front end was facing the telephone pole.
So she's going this direction?
Yes.
Okay.
When she dropped Hunter off, it was her mom, Hunter, and Summer. And Summer was leaning against 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
I said, oh, look at her. I asked her how Summer was, and she was sleeping.
What side of the back seat was she at? Do you remember?
Okay, you'll notice something there that Miss Leslie just did. I think a lot of people have missed this. You heard the ping go off from a text. She read it and then placed it in front of Allie. Okay, so I'm going to back this up for a second.
Me and her stopped talking to the kids, talking to my mom, unexpected, what are you doing? And, I didn't think anything of it at that time. I'm like, okay, yeah, Hunter can go fishing. He loves Summer to death. That's like his little sister.
They're budge.
Yep. She's like a daughter to me. And, I didn't hear from him for a while. She dropped Hunter off between 2 and 2:30, right where your truck is.
Okay. So she's going this direction?
Yes.
Okay.
Hunter gets 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
I said, oh, look at her. I asked her how Summer was, and she was sleeping.
What side of the back seat was she at? Do you remember?
Hunter was on the driver's side, and Summer was right there next. Right there. Yes.
On this side. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. And so she's on the other side or in the middle?
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like,
against the milk. Gallons of milk.
Yep, against the 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
And I said, oh, look at her. I said, isn't she hot? Like, so I wish I could wake her up and, give her a hug. No, you can't. And the windows were up.
What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
When they went into the store.
Yep, because Hunter has a timeline of where they went. Did. They had stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
And the groceries.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to interrupt your timeline that day, but I want to suggest.
Okay, so what I want to stand corrected in relationship to the ashtray. What I was thinking was the phone is right there. She reaches over to grab the ashtray, okay? And I think what she was trying to do, what I was thinking at that time, was she's trying to draw her attention to her cell phone, okay? She couldn't get her attention. So what she does is she interjects what she wanted to tell her in relationship to the timeline. And you'll notice Leslie takes over the conversation here, okay? So I misspoke that. I apologize for that. What I was thinking there was I thought it was the phone, but it was the ashtray. But she was trying to get a message, in my opinion, and that's why I turned my attention intently to her during this part of the interview. And notice how Grandma and Allie, just in this frozen shot here, are also locking into what Leslie's about to say, because Leslie's going to throw a curveball at the table. Now, that could be intentional, okay? Or she wanted to slow the conversation down because Allison started to say what she wanted to say, okay? Because now she's going to go into the Walmart, hey, you need to take a look at her over at Walmart. And I'm thinking, well, in my mind, obviously, I'm thinking, because I think in other places too, to be honest with you, but I'm teasing. But she wants to control the narrative now. And Grandma's letting her, and so is Allie. Okay, so let's go there again, right?
You go to the Walmart on Fort Henry.
Okay.
And have them look back at the cameras because
It was West Palm Drive. She can't go to Fort Henry.
because she got escorted out.
You see, now she wants to re-emphasize what she wants to say. And what I think that is not really the problem here at Walmart. Okay. What she's trying to do, in my opinion, look how I'm looking at her. Okay. I was thinking, okay, she's trying to derail something. Okay. Red flag for me.
Mhm.
That was another red flag. You now have grandma leaning forward again. If you look at Allie, she's not really sure where to go here.
Absolutely.
But there's a 3-way red flag going here. Okay. And I don't know what her intent was at the time, other than what I was thinking. Okay, she's trying to message here, and she was trying to get through on the phone. Allison wasn't paying attention. I'll reach over, grab the ashtray, okay, and just kind of pull the conversation away from where Allison was going. Because you notice where Allison was going in this part of the conversation, where she was headed, okay, is a timeline that she recalled, that 2 to 2:30, the 10 to 10:30 pickup, 2 to 2:30 drop off. Okay, so we have whatever it is, 4 hours of where this whole situation at the waterhole potential could have occurred. Okay? Well, that's still way, way off from the 911 call at 6:23 p.m. Okay?
Right.
So we have not only these 4 hours to think about that they're kind of presenting, and I think Miss Leslie was smart enough to realize Allison was going a little bit too far, and she wanted to take me into another place, because she even presents it. She says, what you need to think about. Okay, and I'm going to just play
The way she was yelling at those kids.
He was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
When they went into the store.
Yep, because Hunter has a timeline of where they went and what they did. And they had stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
And the groceries.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to interrupt your timeline that day, but I want to suggest they need to go to the Walmart on Fort Henry.
Okay.
You see, she even says, I don't want to interrupt your timeline that day, i.e. she's talking to Allison. She's not talking to me. Okay. And that clicking that you hear in the background, that I think that's the popper, because Hunter is just on the other side of the door.
Okay. Now keep that in mind. Hang on. All right. I'm going to take you to the exact same time from Candace's story. Okay. All right. Now hang on. All right. Okay, you ready? Okay, share screen. All right. So there you go. Now, that was so important. I hope you guys heard that. All right. All right. So share screen. I'm going to take you to the exact same time. Remember that this is the time when they pull up with Summer to the house to drop Hunter off. Allie says, Hunter gets out of the car. And all right, I'm going to play it for you one more time so I can get the exact quote. And then I'm going to play you what Candace says. Rewind it 30 seconds.
In the house. Okay? And you'll see him at some point in this video. He comes out, takes his shirt off behind me. You'll see him over my left shoulder. I don't know if he'd already done that and come back around the back, but he ended up back in the house, and he had that popper that he was
It's okay. It's
playing with.
102.
And have them look back at the cameras because she got escorted out.
You see, now she's going to solve the disappearance of a 5-year-old little girl,
ready?
specifically, which, TBI. So I'm going to back this up for a second.
Okay. Go ahead.
Her stopped talking. She was stopping by my mom's, talking to the kids, talking to my mom, unexpected, what are you doing? And I didn't think anything of it at that time. I'm like, okay, yeah, Hunter can go fishing. He loves Summer. That's like his little sister.
They're buds.
Yep. She's like a daughter to me. And I didn't hear from him for a while. She dropped Hunter off between 2 and 2:30, right where your truck is.
Okay.
But her front end was facing the telephone pole.
So she's going this direction.
Yes.
Okay.
When she dropped Hunter off, it was her mom, Hunter, and Summer. And Summer was leaning against 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
I said, oh, look at her. I asked her how Summer was, and she was sleeping.
What side of the back seat was she at? Do you remember?
Hunter was on the driver's side, and Summer was right there in the middle.
Okay, so it made sense if she's pulling this way that Hunter's going to get out
Yes.
on this side. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. And so she's on the other side or in the middle.
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like
against the milk, gallons of milk.
Yep, against the 2 gallons of milk.
Okay.
And I said, oh, look at her. I said, isn't she hot? Like, I said, I wish I could wake her up and, give her a hug. No, you can't.
And the windows.
And the windows were up.
What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
When they went into the store.
Yep, because Hunter has a timeline of where they went and what they did. And they had stopped at the store before they dropped Hunter off. That's where the 2 gallons of milk came from.
Okay.
And the groceries.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to interrupt your timeline that day, but I want to suggest that if
Okay, so I want to stand corrected in relationship to.
Okay. So there, I wanted to get it. I wanted to make sure I had the exact quote correct. Okay. So that's the exact quote. So you have Allie saying between 2 and 2:30 that when they pulled up, she asked Candace if she could give Summer a hug, and Candace said no. She said that when they pulled up, Summer was sleeping in the middle against the 2 gallons of milk, and the windows were rolled up. Okay? And now let's hear what Candace says was the circumstances whenever she dropped Hunter off. Okay? Well, this is what she says in the first interview at the swimming hole. Okay? Hang on. Share screen.
Outside of all you really smart people. And how she is saying. that movement of the hat, okay, is in slow motion here, and I can't.
Right.
And the vapes that I bought
Yep.
were
You go back to Hunter's house.
I drop him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of
The milk, it was sitting right there beside.
Okay. Hey, we're almost there. Hang
the
on.
backseat of a police car, allegedly.
We
We don't know if that's true or not. But this one, yeah, I'm gonna hand it over when I go over Tuesday. And I'm thinking, what are you guys all going to lunch together? What's going on here? Why didn't your daughter's missing? And when they say, do you have a phone? You say, yes, here, it's all here. Take a look. Okay. So my question is, I love that one, LJ, self-narrative alibi. Really good. That is a good great statement. Thank you for sharing that.
okay, here it is.
So all of a sudden, she's got another phone somewhere. Another phone somewhere. Is that the phone she uses or used when they would order narcotics? Is that a burner phone? Because we know that the authorities
Okay, come on.
allegedly took all of the phones, and I know some of those guys up there. For them to miss that phone, I would submit to you, they were hiding that phone, and she just leaked it, and she's had it leaked for quite some time, and that's why I left it in, because I wanted the authorities to grab that. I have uploaded information on a Dropbox to TBI, so I'm hoping they were able to get to the phone. Okay.
Okay,
Which leads me when people say, well, how was she able, to call when,
Okay. Speed
Hunter
this up a
was,
little bit.
or when they took all her phones? Well, this is how, right there. This is how. So that is, an arrow, a target. That's a target. Okay? Big time slip up.
got some business. I got to take care of. Got it. Roger that. So
Because she's got some business she has to take care of. Meaning, I need to tell you, Mr. Krish, that Mr. Fluff, I love it when Josh says it, Mr. Fluff. You can't make this stuff up. But what she's saying there is, I got the phone with, TikToks that Hunter may be on them. And no, I haven't really turned
Here we go. Here we go.
turned them in yet. When I'm ready, because I've got some business to do, I'm going to drop off my phone.
Okay. Now we're at the.
All right. That's almost as good as Don buying $2,000 worth of crack to show TBI
Okay.
that he would never sell his daughter for crack.
All right. Let's
Just
go.
saying. Okay? Kind of goes in that, I'm going to call that a McFlufferism.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on.
And guys, we're going to need an emoji of a McFlufferism. That's going to be the new one for our TIR family. Okay. Are you guys doing okay? You hanging in there?
Yep. Come on.
All right. Let's keep moving because we're almost done with her statement here.
Yeah.
from there, you go back to Hunter's house.
I drop him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of.
The milk, it was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside. I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer. Just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake setting up.
Okay.
So is he in the behind for that scenario? Is he at the driver's side and he sets it across over into the passenger side? Summer's in the middle. And as Michelle on the other channel says, she falls over and falls into the milk. Okay. Could be. Not convinced. Could be.
Like she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
So she's saying now that she fell asleep, and she doesn't say that she fell over into the milk, okay? But she did fall asleep from what Candace is saying.
Yeah, I changed the clothes because when I have the windows down, it can be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows up. Roll up the window, mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
That's just
personality?
Summer.
She's cold, and I think all of us know she's cold, but she's going to put on cold milk, and that's why she changed her, right? I did not catch that. Let me go back. Somebody just said she claims a gallon of milk, but there were multiples. Let's listen to that.
The best little girl anybody could imagine. Just like, well, I don't really
You left here, okay, and you went to Sonic, like you mentioned. What flavors do you buy? Do you remember?
I think I got me and mom a grape.
Is that your favorite?
Not my mom.
Is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. I don't remember what mom got. She got it's like a cool water or something like that.
Okay.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one. I think.
Okay, is that the slushy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Slushies. I don't know.
Did you buy food?
Nope.
Just the slushies?
Just the slushies.
Okay, then what happened?
And then we left from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and he was sitting there playing on TikTok like he always does.
Okay.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made.
Now, what's interesting for, I think, all of us to think about is Allie says, you know, she's sleeping on that milk when they pull up. What Candace is saying is she's awake, you know, and she's, you know, got the milk in the car on the other side, potentially where it's at. And Hunter gets out. Hunter says at the store, Summer is leaning against him, kind of snuggling with him. And they're watching TikToks together. So it makes sense if Summer is in the middle, that when Hunter gets out, she just stays in the middle and not move either way. So apparently she stays in the middle. And if she falls asleep, again, that would make sense.
Whoops.
And then Hunter, I think, wanted the blue one. I think.
Okay, is that the slushy?
Yeah.
Okay. Buy food?
Nope.
Just the slush.
Just the slushies.
Okay, then what happened?
And then we left from there, went to Priceless, and I wasn't even in there 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed my milk, come right back out the door, and playing on TikTok like he always does.
Okay.
I mean, and then for him to sit there and say that he doesn't even make TikToks, I have on my phone personally, I can show you where he's made.
Now, what's interesting for, I think, all of us to think about is Allie says, you know, she's sleeping on that milk when they pull up. What Candace is saying is she's awake, you know, and she's, you know, got the milk in the car on the other side, potentially where it's at.
Yeah.
And Hunter gets out. Hunter says at the store, Summer is leaning against him, kind of snuggling with him. And they're watching TikToks together. So it makes sense if Summer is in the middle, that when Hunter gets out, she just stays in the middle and not move either way.
I wonder.
So apparently she stays in the middle. And if she falls asleep, again, that would make sense that she would lean towards that milk.
Okay. I hope you've given it to the officials, right?
No, actually, it's still on my phone. I haven't had a chance because I was going to talk to them Tuesday when I went back to town.
Okay.
I got some business I got to take care of.
Got it. Roger that. So from there, you go back to Hunter's house.
I drop him off.
Explain the milk. The picture of
The milk, it was sitting right there beside Summer.
Okay.
Because when I handed it to Hunter in the car, he was on the outside.
Oh.
I said, Hunter, put this on the other side of Summer and just set it over there.
Okay.
And she was wide awake sitting up.
Okay.
Like, she didn't go to sleep until after we left town.
Did she change clothes?
Yeah, I
See-
changed the clothes because when I
When?
I need to be 100 degrees. I'll have all the windows up. Roll up the window, mommy, I'm cold. And she not be cold, but I still do it.
Is that part of Summer's
That's just
personality?
Summer.
When
Tell me
did
about
she?
Summer.
Right,
When
so
did she change her
She doesn't
clothes?
qualify exactly where she did that. Right. So that's still a mystery.
Yeah.
And what I want, where I was focused still, had it been in a different environment sitting, I would have said, you know, something else, right? I would have traveled onto all these flags that I'm, you know, throwing up here today. But, you know, I didn't want to get to a place where she says, yeah, I killed her, right? Or somebody else did, and I know what happened. Okay? That's the authorities' job. So I kind of, you know, moved back a little. But what I did want to do is what I'm doing here now, is I wanted to move her into another emotional state, away from all the things that she potentially could have prepared for. Because remember, she heard this interview with Hunter.
She's
she
wide
came,
awake.
as she told me, to qualify the timeline that Hunter got wrong. Okay. I'm paraphrasing, but she wanted to tell us that this timeline is wrong. That Hunter got wrong. Why that was to this point, I'm assuming she was trying to line things up that would line up with what actually, you know, is the you know, the story timeline or the qualification timeline. Okay. So this is critical what we're going to hear here, because you're right. This is when, you know, there's conversation about when did the clothing, you know, where'd the clothing go? But what I want to do is take her off of that for a second, the narrative she just gave, and take her back into Summer to see if we get an emotional response. Okay. So I'm trying to see if she's past feeling, basically.
I want to know about Summer.
She's a happy little girl.
Okay.
She's the best little girl anybody could imagine. Just like, well, I don't really want to say her name.
Yeah, don't say her name.
But, you know, happy-go-lucky. Nothing ever brings her down hardly.
Today's a tough day for you, I can tell.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's been tough lately.
Tell me about that.
Well, every time I look around, I see her face.
Okay.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well,
all right. I think we all caught that. We have a whole cognitive shift here, right? Where 30 seconds before that, she's like, the milk, the Sonic, let me tell you, blah, blah, blah. And now I reposition her emotionally back into slow-mo, we'll call it. Okay? Well, next thing, but when the timing's right, again, this is one of those investigative things where now at that point, I didn't know. Off of that thinking, okay, I've got.
I did. Right. And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video.
I understand Summer now. It was because of this moment.
Help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much, trees, flowers, rock, whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talked about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
Just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video recorder instead of the picture part. Okay. So like, did you catch it? She's like, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing grandma the camera.
Yeah, well, I was driving though.
Okay.
And I was like, did you put her arm back on? She's like, yeah. I was like, dang. And then she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down, but her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up. She got up, I unbuckled her, she got out of the car.
So I'm going to just a couple seconds here. Listen to this again.
And she got a picture of her, but by that time her arm was down, but her arm was up most of the time like this.
Right.
And we were like 2 minutes from the house when she took her arm down.
Okay.
And then when we got to the house, we unlocked the gate, went up, and I woke her up.
Now the gate she's talking about. So what I think this is sincere. This part, okay, that if that video is actually that day, all right, then she's plugging in. Then we have to ask, why does Hunter say? Then we have to ask, why does Hunter say the boys went with Don to work? And then why does Don say, if that call is accurate, there's some guy up on the property? Well, does Don see that guy? Does Don know that guy? Okay. Well, he, according to Hunter now, says, well, I heard the conversation. I wanted to see who was calling. All right. So this is where it starts going into, some more red flags with conversations. Right. And I think we can all agree to that. Okay.
Right.
So let's move forward here because I'm going to ask her the big questions.
Babysitting?
Well, technically they were watching TV and sleeping at the same time.
Okay.
I
My
love
kids
that.
always watch TV and sleep. Number one.
I love it. I love that.
And I was just going to run out for a second, and we never.
So she knows that's an uncomfortable question. And now she's going to justify the narrative. I left the boys at home. Now she has to qualify that because she knows I'm not sure why you would say that because you're going to have to, work on that. First of all, if she did leave the kids and didn't wake them and say, hey, I'll be back in a little while, well, then it makes no sense.
Okay. Okay, so that's the water hole, okay? Just comparing this one, I'm just comparing the contradictions for this one point in time in the story of the when she dropped Hunter off, just to show you, just to show you the differences of how Summer, what they say Summer was doing in the car at the point in time of when they dropped Hunter off. Because CANDUS claims that Summer was awake. And not only does CANDUS claim that Summer was awake, she claims that Allie is lying, that Allie never even asked to hug Summer or came over and tried to talk to CANDUS at all. And their statements contradict each other completely. Like one of them is most definitely lying. And why? You have to ask yourself why. There has to be a reason because it's not just a slightly different, maybe somebody's misremembering. One of them is absolutely lying. Okay, so let's see what she says about it. Now she's going to tell the story again, I think. So let's see if she tells the story again here. Okay. Let's see. Believe she does. I think she tells. I'm pretty sure she starts. Crap. Okay, now they're at the house, and Candace is going to come out. Okay. Here we go. Yep. Now they're going to talk about them again for the last time. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she almost pointed to it. It kind of looks like she stopped herself from pointing to one of those totes, doesn't it? Kind of does. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue this on a part 2. Maybe 3 and 4. But I'll just sum it up quickly for you like this. She's going to go through this and she's going to explain in detail about 25 minutes worth of we went in the house, took the groceries in. We got the boys, got the grocery bags, took the groceries in, put the groceries away, came back out, planted flowers with grandma, went back in, came back out, put grandma's knee brace on, came back in, came back out, planted flowers, came back in, came back out. Very specific, very detailed, very, very detailed. But it's only about 25 to 45 minutes worth of activities. About halfway through, she realizes that it's not quite cutting it time-wise, and she needs something to fill in the gap, so she says, and then, we were just doing normal stuff, like we normally do. That's the only general thing that she says in the whole series of events. I would expect her to be specific throughout the entire series because this is the last time that she's seen her missing daughter. What I don't expect is the normal things like we normally do. What I also don't expect is 25 minutes worth of activities when Allie says you dropped Hunter off at 2:30, 10 minutes away. You do 25 minutes worth of activities and you report your daughter missing at 6:30. That's a problem. So, yeah. See, let me see. This is Summer's bedroom. Well, this is the basement that they say she went down into. She never went down in that basement. Not saying that. I'm not saying that. I know what happened to her. I'm just saying that Summer it didn't happen that way. By the way, when he goes down there, there's a set of bunk beds and a mattress on the floor in the basement, I mean. And then there's a half a divider and then there's another box spring on the floor with a mattress on it, which is the parents' bed. So all these beds on the floor in the basement is what he sees when he goes down. That's what he means when he says that she doesn't want him focusing on the beds. Now, on these beds, there's some of them have sheets. The ones that do have sheets, the sheets are disgusting, old, filthy, dirty, and stained. The ones that do have sheets. The ones that don't, the mattress themselves are just disgusting, stained, filthy, old and disgusting. Now you can see this in some videos taken at a later time when they have one of the mattress, when they're throwing it away, it's on the back porch, leaned up against the door, and you can see it out there. I don't know if the sheet's on it or if it's just the mattress itself, but you can see how gross it is. So anyway, those are the beds that are down in the basement. When you walk in, actually, I think you can see it. When he walks in the upstairs, there's a set. So these are the bunk beds there in the basement. And then there's a mattress on the floor here too. There's a mattress on the floor here too. And it's unclear though who sleeps where, because Dawn and Candace both say that Summer sleeps in their bed and always has every day of her life. But they also both claim that the boys sleep upstairs in the set of bunk beds that's in the first floor. But Allie, when she was interviewed by Molly Golightly and Betty, said that actually all three boys sleep in the basement as well, in those three beds that we just saw. And that those bunk beds upstairs, nobody sleeps in those. So, maybe they had just got those because, the day after Summer disappeared was a scheduled visit that CPS was due to come to their house. Trying to find it where he first walks in the house and you can see the bunk beds on the first floor. Okay, there you go. See if we can see them on the first floor. Now, Chris, when he's talking, he assumes that these bunk beds on the first floor, that these are the boys' bunk beds, and Candace tells him that only the youngest boy and Summer share the downstairs bedroom. But Allie says that isn't true. All three boys share the bedroom downstairs with Summer, but actually Summer sleeps in the parents' bedroom. Isn't that creepy though? Like, doesn't that look like it's hidden? Like the basement beds are hidden? It's Girls Gone Wild on the TV, yeah. I don't think so. Look how dark it is down there. Also, you can't see in those windows. Think of that. He's a grown man, 25 years of law enforcement, retired homicide detective. He doesn't feel safe down there. Do you really think little 5-year-old Summer is not scared of that basement? I don't. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a place where someone's going to be able to steal a kid. It's the last place someone's going to be able to steal a kid that they don't know is there. Sabotage. Ah, sabotage. Jerk. That's so important. Listen to this. Most significant statement I think she makes right here. Come on, where is it? Where is it? Perfect. Okay, there it is. All right, now. That was at 1:58. Right, but where is it? Here it is. This is it right here. 44. Okay. Hang on, Georgie. Okay, come on. Mm-hmm. It's coming up here. Hang on, guys. Come on. Okay. 118. Sure. Okay. See that? She jumped right up. Okay. This is where it's at. Here it comes. Semantics, I think. Hmm. All right, come on. Let's go. Come on. Where is it? Did I pass it? Shit. Did I pass it? Crap. I might have passed it. Okay, come on. Stop. Damn cats. Get. Crap. Come on, dude. What? Why are you so bad? My cat is evil. Stop. Stop it. There it is. There it is. Okay. Yep. Well, that is the door she's talking about. Okay. 103. Right. Okay. See, he's thinking that the boys' bedroom is upstairs. But what I think that he doesn't understand is that the boys, actually, all three of them, I believe, because of what I've heard in the interviews, and I can play those for you guys if you want, is that I believe the boys all were sleeping downstairs. I think that's one of the things that they were being told by CPS is that they needed to have beds for at least two of the boys upstairs. And that's one of the things that they were in the process of doing. That's why they had those bunk beds upstairs, is that they were in the process of making beds and bedrooms for the two of the boys upstairs. And they did have an appointment for CPS the day after Summer ended up disappearing, and CPS was scheduled to come to the house the next day, I think, to check and make sure that they had done the things that they were supposed to do for CPS's whatever satisfaction, whatever. That's just my guess. But yeah, you're not allowed to have over a certain amount of kids, especially if they're mixed genders. You know, you're not allowed to have, especially like over two boys. Like, you're not allowed to have three or more males or females, children in one room, or you're not allowed to have a male and a female in one bedroom, like, for example, whatever their rules are. And then another thing I want to say is listen to what she says. So she starts out, when she's telling her story, she's telling it in chronological order to him. And she's telling the story to him in chronological order as she's walking through the house. So she's kind of telling it as she's walking through it as she would have lived it at the time. And at this point in time, the timestamp is 102. So at 102, when she walks in the house, and in her imagination or in her memory, either one, her three boys are sitting at that table watching that TV, and all the doors were locked because she was gone. Nobody was able to get in, nobody was able to get out until she came back with the groceries. In her mind, in her memory, in her imagination, or whatever you want to say. I'll play it for you one more time. Okay. Now, 18 minutes later, and then 18 minutes later, after she had walked him through what had happened in the next 18 minutes, she actually walks through the story. She walks in the house. she walks out of the house to show him that they walked out, grabbed the bags. She walks back in the house, show him that we walked back in, put them away, walks back out the house to show him that we planted the flowers, walks back in the house, et cetera, okay? And then walks back in the house to show him that then I saw Summer in the kitchen sitting down playing with toys, and I went to fix Grandma's knee brace, and she slips up because she accidentally, when she says that she saw Summer sitting on the kitchen floor playing with her toys, she says that she places Summer and Summer's toys in the kitchen, which is on the first level with her, like she's already on the first level with her toys. There's no need for her to go down the stairs into that dark, dingy bedroom. She's already on the first level. She's already with her toys, and all three of her brothers are on that level with her, if you believe Candace's story. What reason would she have to go downstairs into that basement? But if you do believe Candace's story that she did go down there, all the doors are locked anyway, nobody in, nobody out. So what would it matter if she did go down there? It makes no sense. And Candace herself, I think, understands this. And that's why by the time she gets downstairs in her story and realizes this, she changes it. Never mind, it's not 1:18. It is actually, it's not 18 minutes later. Hang on, it's okay. So here's 1:28. It's 28 minutes later. 29 minutes later is when they're going down the stairs. 30, 34, 35, 37, 38. Okay, so around 38 minutes later, there we go. 1:38. So 38 minutes later, when she gets to the basement level, in that part in her story, that's when she realizes she has a problem and she needs to fix her story. And so that's when she says, that's when she doesn't recall if it's locked. Okay? She doesn't recall anymore. But at 1:01, Okay. Yep. There you go. Okay. So what do you guys think? Oh, me? Yeah. Oh, hi, Skyzy. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I wasn't. I am so sorry. I didn't realize that it wasn't playing. Crap. And I didn't realize that I wasn't playing. Well, that's crappy. Okay, hang on. Hi, guys. Hi, SkyZ. We can't see it. We can't see you. Can you show it? Who's the new guy? Hi. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? Sorry, my phone restarted. Give me a second here. I'll put it up. I really thought I was doing great. I couldn't see my screen, but I was killing it. I was like, I had all the things on there and everything, but I had no idea you couldn't see anything, couldn't see me, couldn't see the thing. Oh man, that's terrible. Well, dang. My cat sabotaged me. Knocked over my phone. All right, here we go. Hang on. Oh. Ah. Oh. Oh. Okay, hang on. Is that working? Okay. Is that working? Okay. 7 months later while I was home. Okay. Is that working? Okay. Whew. Okay. Well. Whoop. Okay. And can you hear me okay? Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. Where? That's a little messed up. Oh. Okay. My cat climbed up there and like swatted my camera down, and then my just having a rough go at it. So okay, so let's see here. Did you want to see it or moving on? Hello. Okay, so hi, Skyzy. Who is the new guy? Which new guy? Which new guy did you mean? Let's see. So you want to see? Did you want to see the new guy that Did you want to see the new guy, the son with the CP, or did you want to see the pictures that did you want to see the video that I was showing with the audio of the interviews? Not sure. Sorry, I just saw you guys' chat. I'm sorry I wasn't. Sorry I couldn't see it. Okay. So all right. So anyway, okay, so here's the, I'll just show what I was just doing the audio for. So here's Candace. Here you go. Here's Candace lying. Here's me. And here's Candace at
And I looked on one side of the stand and work, and I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know
she doesn't recall. Okay. But she seems pretty sure at 1 minute, 1 hour and 1 minute. Okay.
Your stress. Zoo license. Well, how does that correlate to the groceries? You know, I'm seeing all kinds of critters. So this is the scaffolding you're talking about.
yeah, that's my.
You know, I'm seeing all kinds of original photographs
Okay.
of their
Oh,
room.
did you want to
It's-
see
it's
like
much
the
different right now, and it's
bunk
just a couple
beds and
weeks
stuff
later.
I was talking
So
about?
I started thinking about, I want to see
Oh,
clothing
I guess I was talking about
in
all kinds of
relationship to
stuff, huh?
summer.
And they're actually sitting right here at the table watching TV.
Okay,
Okay.
so they're at the table
Right here
watching
is-
TV. Okay.
They're all locked in. Nobody can get in. Nobody can get out.
Oh, wow, stop.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Can you see
They're all
that?
locked in. Nobody can get in. Nobody can get out.
Okay.
So
There's where I
I
was
think we have to
talking
assume,
about.
based on what we just heard there, that
Right.
when she left in the morning, she locked them in.
Yeah.
And that, I would assume, means the basement door is also locked,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because remember at the water hole, she says, well, you know, they were basically awake sleeping, you know, kind of one of those
Yes.
things.
My children
So if they were
awake,
sleeping
sleep all the time.
and she's gone,
Watch
i.e.
TV
to the
sleeping.
adventure to the hospital
That's
with
what they do.
grandma,
Watch
picking up
TV while
Hunter,
they're sleeping.
and you know, it's kind of a
That's what she
spontaneous thing where, you know,
She
next
said
thing you
they
know, we're at
watch
the water
TV
hole.
while they're sleeping.
I'm not really sure, you know, if that's lining up for me. What say you?
Okay.
Right? Because these kids now, the boys, 3 boys, are at this house by themselves, locked in, nobody in,
Yes.
nobody out.
And so
And I'm going to play that back one more time so you can hear it again.
Wow.
Wow. And who's the guy?
That's her ex-husband.
Wow.
I don't know what about doing. She's still the captain.
And is this they're going to attack me?
No.
Oh, I'm teasing you. The dog's going to attack me. So this is the scaffolding you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my.
Okay, so she comes up, jumps up, goes right in.
Yep.
Okay, how many cats? You know what? You should have like a zoo license. You know, I'm seeing all
Okay.
kinds of critters,
listen to this.
which is good. Okay, where's Summer's bed?
Oh, it's in the basement.
Got it. Okay, so what happens when she comes in?
It's
Boys
in the
are playing
basement.
where?
Oh, the boys are
That
actually sitting
see
here.
in the very
Okay.
beginning.
Sitting right here at the table watching TV.
Okay, so they're at the table.
Why doesn't she
Okay.
mention
You see her
then
hat?
that
See her move her hand to her
Summer
hat?
has never
stress.
slept in
Watching
her
TV.
bed?
Okay,
They're all locked in. Nobody can get in. Nobody can get out. kind of
Okay.
thing.
they're all locked in. Nobody can get in. Nobody can get out.
Nobody
More
can get
towards
in,
the
nobody
light,
can get
i.e.,
out.
kitchen. You know, that area.
Now this is
I think
38
that could be
minutes
closer to the
later.
truth than this narrative of she just disappeared out of the basement.
Okay. 38 minutes later now. She changes the story completely. Okay.
More towards the light, i.e., kitchen. You know, that area. I think that could be closer to the truth than this narrative. More towards the light, i.e., kitchen. You know, that area. I think that could be closer to the truth than this narrative of she just disappeared out of the basement.
Look underneath the beds under there. We can't really get them. I can't get them there.
Yeah.
But I looked under there. Looked under every blanket I could possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come over here and I looked on one side of the stand and work. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know.
Now
She's
she
got to put
doesn't
that in
recall.
the narrative because there's got to be a way to get her out of that basement, according to.
So did you hear that? 38 minutes later, she doesn't recall if it's locked or not. 38 minutes later, she's not sure. Because 38 minutes later, she realizes that if it's locked, nobody can abduct her. There's no way to get her out of the basement. She's already locked herself in this story. Let me show you how she locked herself in. She's painted herself into a corner here because in her story, she's given detail by detail by detail. And the last detail she gave where she saw Summer, the last place she saw Summer to give herself an alibi is right here.
It's too scripted, because when they first pulled up, she unbuckles her, Summer's on her way. Okay. In this, from the camper to the house, there's an escort.
Yes.
And there's a narrative to the boys.
She says,
and that narrative is to the oldest one, keep an eye on your sister. Okay. Why? If she's gone into the house like she did the first time and she got those toys, well, where were those in Summer? Okay. Well, okay, I didn't know, it had to be an of course. Okay. Well, of course it does. That's the narrative. Okay. That's the narrative.
Hang on. She's going to show us in a second. She walked her right over to the porch. She's going to say, I walked right here and I watched her walk in. Where is it? Yeah, normal stuff like we normally do.
Where she can play with them? Or are they with where the boy said they were? She went downstairs to play with her toys in the basement. Okay, so yeah, so folks are hearing different things. So I thought I heard, porch. My sweetheart said no. She said floor. I said okay. Either way, what was important about that conversation or that statement is if she is on the porch, she's outside with toys. If she's inside, she's on the floor in the kitchen area with toys. So why would she go down in the basement to play with her toys? It's too scripted. Because when they first pulled up, she unbuckles her, Summer's on her way. Okay. In this, from the camper to the house, there's an S.
There, right there.
Watch this, I'll be right back. And that's
okay, so this is a really interesting.
There, she's like,
from the camper to the house, there's an escort. And there's a narrative. This is, from an investigator's position.
Like literally walked right in here where I could see the boys and on the kitchen table.
Got him.
And I watched her walk in there. And afterwards, when she was already in there, I walked over and said, "Why?" And he looked at me and said, "Watch this, I'll be right back." And that.
See that?
Okay, so this is a really.
There. She said, I walked her over there, watched her walk in. After she was in, then I walked over to the door. And I walked over to the door and then I looked in after she walked in and I looked in at my boy and I said, Wyatt. And he said, yeah. And I said, watch Sissy. I'll be right back. He said, okay. And then I turned around and left. So that is, like Chris said, too scripted. So as if to make sure, to double down that she's going to say, I made sure that she was in that house. And then after I made sure she was in that house, I made sure someone else made sure that she was in that house. And then I made sure that I wasn't in that house. And that's what it sounds like to me. Like she made sure that she had an alibi that she was not going to be there when Summer got gone. So, Okay, well look, I'll come back on and do a part 2, and like I said, I've been on here super duper booper long time, and I'm not sure, I can't see the comments again, so but I'll come back on, do a part 2, and then I'll also edit out all the you know, all the parts of this that were crappy, so that this is digestible. Skyzy says, yes, gave me such an uneasy feeling. The way they had those basement stairs. Never seen anything like it. Yeah. Yeah, me too. It's very sad to me. Very sad to me watching that video of the house the way that it was. I'm speechless watching it. I don't know. And you know what? Something else that it's been said that Dawn was bringing home $1,800 a week. That Dudley claims that. I don't know if that's true. That's an allegation. I don't know how true that is, but that's a lot of money. So it's not because they were poor, if that's true. You know, that's by choice to live like that. Or have, not buy sheets for the kids' beds and stuff. Yeah. So that's, and other neighbors interviewed, stuff like that. They've said, like, they always bought dinner, like out to eat dinner, like they always were bringing home, like KFC, McDonald's, stuff like that. They were always bringing home takeout to go, stuff like that, Mountain Dew, stuff like that. Like they were spending money. They were always spending money. It's not like they didn't have money. They just didn't want to spend it on the kids, or they were just lazy. They didn't want to do laundry or take care of, brush their teeth, take them to the dentist, things like that. That's what the neighbors said in interviews. Okay, guys, I am definitely going to come back on, and because I have like so much more to say about these videos that I want to tell you when I compared them. That's like really stood out to me. So I will definitely make a part 2. And I hope you guys come back. Bye. It's like all these. All right, yeah. Maybe next time I'll start it this time, because like now I'm getting all these updates and stuff. Geek. dokie. Okay, bye. Oh, sorry, Georgie. I'm coming. Gotta let the dogs out. Gotta let the dogs out. Bye, Sky. Bye, Carl. Bye, Laura. Bye, Mike. Bye, everybody.